What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a question to ask you guys in relation to this upcoming NBA draft. I've seen it in comments, I've seen it discussed around the Chicago Bulls fan base at the moment, and the question is, should the Chicago Bulls be trading downwards in the NBA draft? Now, technically, when I say that, when I mean, let's just say we're drafting 12th, right? Instead of drafting 12th, we trade our pick to a different team, maybe get pick 15, 16, whatever it may be, and trade downwards with obviously future assets in there as well to make it appealing to the Bulls. And we kind of, maybe draft someone that's around that range instead. Well, I want to talk about it. I want to talk about, is it realistic, and should the Bulls be pursuing something like that in this video? But before we get any further, if you liked the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts about these Chicago Bulls and whether or not you believe moving away from the 12th overall pick and maybe going out of the lottery, or heck, maybe just going later in the lottery, is the ideal situation in hopes of getting future assets in return. So, I understand the appeal of this, and look, trading downwards has worked for teams in the past. I mean, the biggest trade down that I've seen in recent history was when the Hawks and the Mavericks swapped each other's picks. And that was a very big thing. And ultimately, I think both the Atlanta Hawks and, at the time, the Dallas Mavericks might have been happy with that choice. And it has worked out in the past. With that being said, it doesn't necessarily always mean it's going to work out in the future. So what's the appeal? The appeal is the future assets. There's no way the Bulls just trade their pick. Let's just say we trade the 12th overall pick for the 14th overall pick and that's it. We get nothing in return. There is no way the Bulls are going to be interested in a deal like that. What makes it so interesting is you're probably going to get more picks in return if you do that. So you could get the 14th overall pick per se from the Spurs, and you also get a future first rounder next season, or a second rounder this season, or a couple of second rounders next season. Whatever the package may be, whatever the team offers, that is the appeal of trading downwards in the NBA draft. Whereas, of course, if the Bulls were to trade upwards and go higher in the lottery, we would have to offer something in return as well. We would have to give up a future pick, a future second round pick, whatever it may be. It's an interesting thing, right? And obviously, the appeal is definitely there. There are a couple of reasons why I feel like the Bulls could do this, but I don't necessarily think we're going to find out. Well, of course, we're not going to find out until on the night. And there are a couple of reasons why I feel the Bulls could do this. The first reason is, look, there's no doubt in my mind we're in for a specific need. And at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of the players that we're looking at in the NBA draft, there's a chance that they could go into the top 10. So the Bulls might have all of the players they're truly targeting off the board very quickly. And that would suck, right? So at the end of the day, they might want to go for someone that could potentially fall out of the lottery, take that risk, trade their pick, and get something for next season. Or something for the second round, whatever it may be. That is an appeal that I don't think the Bulls should be disregarding straight away. But I would only see that happening if the Bulls' targets are no longer there. Like last year, we drafted Matas Buzelis. Imagine if the Bulls decided to trade downwards in the NBA draft and get rid of the 11th pick for the 15th pick or whatever it is, with a potential pick for this year. I mean, seriously, like that could have been detrimental for the Bulls. And we didn't take that risk last year. There's obviously a chance we may not take that pick this year. There's a reason why I think we shouldn't go against it, but I want to quickly talk about that second reason why I feel like the Bulls could do this. And purely it could be for preservation for next year. This, in my opinion, is interesting because we're looking this season as the season with the best draft class in recent history. And preservation for next season could be a detriment. So you would have to trust that whoever's trading you their first round pick or second round pick of next season is going to suck so badly that it's actually worth it, because you could fall into the top 4, top 6, whatever it is, get higher in the lottery next season. It has to be worth it if you're going to preserve yourself for next season. And that is the second reason why I feel like they could do something like that. So target may not be available at 12, maybe all of them are off the board, or preserving yourself for next season, getting a higher draft pick next season could be the ideal situation. But I mentioned it in the second reason, I think a reason why we shouldn't do this is because this draft class is considered really strong. And I don't think you should be wasting something like that. You'd have to truly, truly, truly believe in your heart that this draft class is not as strong as people say it is in order to make a risk like this effective. And you have to believe it with every fiber of your being. You have to be the 1 out of the 100 that would believe that this draft class ain't that strong. And if you are one of them, if you have the balls to do something like that and it works out for you, man, complete 180 for the front office, right? People are going to see them in a completely different light. But if you're the one person that believes that, then damn near everybody in the lottery turns out to be a very capable player. Even more baggage is going to be added to the front office of this team if they did something like that. So there's a couple of reasons why we could do it. There's a big reason why we probably shouldn't do it. The question is, do I think the Bulls should do this? I'm more inclined to listen to the very first response that I brought to the table. I said it first for a reason. If the Bulls have none of their prospects that they're looking for available at 12, if all of them are off the board and the Bulls are basically picking from their second scraps, then I don't see any reason why they shouldn't trade downwards and try to get more assets in return for that pick. You never know which team could want to be in our position right now. You never know. It could be the Spurs. It could be a contending team even, like, you know, maybe it's the Warriors. Maybe it's the Dallas Mavericks again, or it doesn't matter. Any team could find a way to enter their conversation and enter their name into our position in the draft. If we feel like we're not going to get anyone of value at 12, then I don't see a reason why we shouldn't draft downwards and maybe get a future first rounder for the future, or maybe get another second rounder and try to find a hidden gem within the second round. There's no reason why we shouldn't do that if you feel like 12 is going to be irrelevant to you. But that's a very big if. And at the end of the day, in a strong draft class, there's a likely chance that you're going to get someone that at least changes your franchise. I'm not going to say a cornerstone piece. I'm not going to say someone that's going to be the MVP of the league, the superstar of all superstars. I'm not saying that. But someone that can change your franchise for the future and for the betterment of your team, I think there's a chance you could get that at 12, no matter what position it is. So I feel like even though I can see us doing it, the chances are we're probably going to stay where we are. And I think that might be the right outcome. I'd rather not take a big risk if it's unnecessary. I feel like this risk could potentially be seen as unnecessary. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.